Hello, Time Lords and friends alike. It's Clocky, and we're here to do our annual yearly wrap up. 2022 was a crazy year, both productive and unproductive, and had a lot of personal growth as well as health scares, new game experiences, new community members, drama, happiness, laughs, tears, all the works. So let's just start from the beginning. 2022 started off pretty rough for me. I was going through some really tough times with a friend who was very sick at the time and continued to be sick for the next couple months, as well as pretty much the entirety of 2022. I was going through stuff with them and trying to help them get through, and it did weigh on me quite a bit. So my mental health started to hit quite a big decline starting around January. And I did everything I could to fight it. I started posting on YouTube more. That's where I started doing more of my live streams. I made a decision that I wanted to start growing my YouTube channel more and giving more focus to it. And you'll see here at the end that we did just that. But I started working really hard on creating YouTube videos while trying to prep for the inevitable of something bad happening, because there was a lot of bad stuff going on and my health was declining as well. In February of 2022, I did my first ever subathon on Twitch. I have always been terrified to do one of them. I thought, who cares, right? Who cares about me? I'm not Pokimane, I'm not Ludwig. Who's gonna come to a subathon hosted by me? And who's gonna even donate so that you're streaming more than what, your normal 3 hours? Who cares, Clocky? Who cares, right? Boy, was I wrong. My community showed up in numbers. It was one of the most successful streams I've ever had, and they smashed my goals out of the water within the first hour, and I had to rewrite all of my subathon plans during the subathon as I ran out of things because they hit everything so quickly. But it was one of the most fun experiences I've ever had. I made so many memories with my friends. We played games till the wee hours of the morning. I got no sleep. We played multiplayer games, played story games, we did storytelling. I shared fun synopsises from my childhood. I did some storybook reading for my community, and we had a really great time. And I can't wait to do another one. I just don't feel the need to do them very often. I feel like it loses its value if you do a subathon every month or every... I mean, this is just my personal opinion, but I like to space them out quite a bit because you're just draining your community dry, and I don't like to feel like that. I want it to be for a reason, so I plan to do one again in the future, just not quite sure when that's going to be. So the subathon was one of my big milestones that I got done, as well as because of the subathon, we raised a whole bunch of money to get new artwork for my channel, and that's where I got a lot of the new icons that I use on my YouTube videos, my new emotes, icons that I use for my Discord channel, and all sorts of stuff like that, and my merch store as well. I had paid several artists to create a bunch of work for me, and I still love it to this day. And if you guys enjoy it, I have a merch store that you can buy all this stuff in. Stickers, t-shirts. Come on, you know you want to. Also frog merch. My hair is falling out. And so those were a few things that started off really well for me in 2022 outside of my personal life. During end of February into March, my personal health took a pretty big decline. Physically, I was suffering as I ended up around my birthday breaking my foot getting out of bed, but not breaking my foot because they never actually figured out what was wrong with my foot. I think I have gout. Old man disease. Yes, I know, it's crazy. I got a bunch of x-rays done at the ER, and they sent me to a podiatrist, and they still said nothing. They put me in a boot. Well, they tried to put me in a boot. I warned them that I couldn't wear the boot because the top of my foot was under so much pain that I was like, I can barely wear a sock. And so when they put the boot on, I pretty much screamed at the doctor. So he said we were gonna have to do a nerve block, which then resulted in trigger warning needles, resulted in him having to do a nerve block in my foot, which hurt, to say the least. He asked me to lay flat on the table, and he grabbed my foot, and I started screaming in pain, and I was like, oh my god, that's awful, and he's like, oh, This is just the topical freezing spray. If you don't like this, then you're not gonna like the needle. Shoves it into my foot, and I'm sitting there trying not to scream at the top of my lungs while he's going, well, don't move. And I was like, yeah, I'm trying. So, luckily it worked, and then I couldn't feel my foot, so then I could wear the boot. I wore the boot for 6 weeks, and we got another x-ray and nothing showed up, and we were just like, well, I don't know, it just stopped. And so they were going to send me to an MRI, and then I gave up because my foot stopped hurting. And then it started hurting like 5 months later, and then it went away. So I think I have like gout or something silly, or some weird nerve pinching in my foot that they couldn't figure out. I don't know. Anyway, on the same time as my foot breaking, my mental health skyrocketed. Well, skyrocketed and declined. I don't know, whichever term works best for you. So I ended up having a series of frequent panic attacks that scared me half to death, as panic attacks do, to the point where I would be up all night sick, and one of them got so bad that I ended up calling my father at about 3 or 4 in the morning. He answered, and my hero of a dad ended up staying on the phone with me until about 9:30 a.m. the next day, while I, in the middle of February, March, was on my deck sobbing hysterically into the phone, throwing up on the deck, throwing up in the toilet, wondering if I should call 911 because I thought I was dying. So that was the turning point for me. Turns out I didn't die. Congratulations. It was a panic attack. I asked Dad to send Mom down because I really didn't want to be alone. And I called my primary care physician, and I got put on anti-anxiety medication. I don't remember the name of it off the top of my head, but I am now currently on anti-anxiety medication. The thing about anxiety medication is it works, but it takes time. It's not an instantaneous relief, so if you're like thinking maybe I'll try it out for a week or 2 and see how I feel, that has to be in your body for quite a while. So once I got started on it in March, it didn't click until about June, where I had actually started to realize I felt like myself again. It took a while for your body to adjust to the new medication in your system, and I feel a lot better now. I'm way more in control of my panic attacks. I still have them, much less frequently than I was before, but if you are having health issues, please seek a doctor. There's nothing to be ashamed of. Mental health is something we all go through, and it should be talked about more, and it's okay to need help, and asking for help does not make you weak. It means you're refusing to give up, and you should keep fighting. Around the time of my medication, because my mental health wasn't so good, I wasn't enjoying video games as much as I normally do, so I was kind of jumping around between games I was playing. We were doing a lot of community nights, and I just really struggled to find games that brought me passion. So I kind of tried to move away from gaming for a little bit, which introduced a new aspect of my life and new confidences to me and new things that I do for YouTube and things that I do for streams. I started hosting events, so special events on Twitch, not playing God of War, which I'm playing now. I still do play video games, but not just simply doing a gaming stream, but I would host events. And my first ever event was a surprise where I hosted with my green screen. I had a whole table set up, I dressed up, and I hosted a magic show. I can't do magic. It was the world's worst magic show, but it was one of the most fun experiences of my life, and everybody was living for it on Twitch. Everybody was having the best time. We have some of the greatest clips from it, and it really changed me as a person, confidence-wise, and I realized that I'm so much more than what I was setting myself out to be. So I started going from there. I started hosting different events. I hosted a Girl Scout event where I taught you some camping tricks, some first aid tips, and I read from 2 of the original old books of the Boy Scout Handbook and the Girl Scout Handbook, written in the 1900s and 1800s. And they were a hoot, because some of those things written in there are not okay to be mentioned in these times. Everybody knew it was for the fun and reading out of a book. It was a very good time. And then we roasted marshmallows on stream and had s'mores and told campfire stories, and I even asked people to give me spooky stories, which we read around the campfire. The next event I hosted was a zombie apocalypse, where me and my team created a narrative where I was a newscaster with my green screen. I was a newscaster. I was teaching you about the fact that a zombie apocalypse was coming, how to evade zombies, what to do if you see a zombie, teaching healthcare tips, first aid tips, emergency survival tips. We did a little survival quiz, and then my editor created this incredible transition from the newsroom getting collapsed in on and the zombies swarming in, and I disappear off screen for several minutes, and I did an outfit change and came back in a dystopian apocalyptic garb with face paint on, and I brought in a series of my cosplay prop weapons, and we did a zombie apocalypse survival stream where every time somebody would donate or tip or sub, zombie gifts would pop up on stream, and I would swing at them to, you know, fight them off as the hordes would come in. We played mini games including Name That Zombie, from which movie they came from, which video game they came from, which type of zombie they were, and my chat had a whole lot of fun with it, and I really can't wait to get back to doing events like that again, but they are time consuming to plan, but I have loved doing those, and it changed, again, a lot of the way I do things, so I stopped doing so much gaming stream and started thinking like, oh, I don't have to just play video games on stream. If I feel like doing a talking stream, I can. If I feel like reading from a book, my chat will love it. If I feel like painting, which is something I started this year, we did a Bob Ross painting stream. Outside of that, I started painting Pokemon. So I'd get canvases and the chat would tell me what Pokemon to paint, and I would paint it for them and then send it to them in the mail. And we would play Pokemon Arceus in the background while I painted, and then I would send you your very own Pokemon in the mail. I did a total of 25 cosplays in the months of September, October for spooky season. We did a whole bunch of horror games. We did events. Things fell a little bit behind in November, and December I went on vacation, but it was a really long year of breakthroughs, new content creation. My editor took over my YouTube channel, and that's where things have gotten absolutely outstanding. Shout out to that person. Silent. Give yourself some credit right here. Show your favorite clip or your favorite piece of work you've done. Full credit. Go ahead. Show something that you really like doing. What was your favorite thing? What did you like? What did you like doing? Come on. I know you want to show me.
Don't you die on me!
We kept getting really bad corruption card rolls, and we just kept getting absolutely wrecked by it.
Give me a break! Give me a break! Come on! Come on! God damn it! That's it. We're out of here.
Do you think that the viewers could be lost and confused?
Nobody cares about the story, Holly. Ah! What the hell?
See? Look how talented you are. I love this editor. I love this man with my whole heart, and he deserves the world. And I hope that we can get him to being a full-time editor very soon. My TikToks he's been working on, my YouTube shorts. And outside of that, I did a lot of self-exploration. I tried to take vacations this year. I went on a long vacation over the summer. I had a lot of friends come over multiple times in the summer, and I had a vacation in December. I made a lot of really good new friends this year. I played a lot of really good new games this year, made a lot of new memories. I've changed as a person, my content's changed, my background's changed, my hair's changed, my body language has changed, my voice has changed, and I have so many plans for 2023, including getting back to those events. I'm looking into getting a voice coach. As you can tell, sometimes when I talk and talk a lot, I get out of breath. I don't know why that is. So I'm looking into getting a breathing coach and a voice coach to help me control my pitch, control my breathing, and work from there. I want to do novel reading, voiceover work, and I just have a lot more to give, and I can't wait for you guys to come along that journey with me, and I hope you guys do stay with that journey on me and we keep on this trajectory of upward growth. Speaking of growth, let's do this real quick because nobody likes numbers, but let's talk about them really quickly. At the end of 2022, I made a post to remind myself where we were to see where we are now. Stats going into 2022. On Twitch, I had 3,523 followers. At this current date, I have 4,957 followers. That is an incredible growth and an incredible increase, and I cannot fathom how many of you have shown up over this time frame. On YouTube, we entered 2022 with 331 subscribers. We are currently at 1,260 subscribers. That is a massive increase from last year, and I can't thank you guys enough for subscribing to this channel. I can't thank my editor enough for all the work they put in. I can't thank my mods and friends for playing games with me as much as they do. You guys are amazing. Your support means the world to me, and I couldn't be doing this without you guys, so thank you. Instagram, my least used account, we had 4,892 followers, and now we have 5,255 followers. Decent gain, but I barely use Instagram, so I just wrote it down to remind myself. But Twitter is one of the biggest increases, as well as YouTube. Twitter, we ended 2022 with 416 followers, and we are currently sitting at 1,134 followers. I can't wait to see what 2023 brings. I hope you guys come along with this ride for me. I had a lot of fun. We're gonna have a lot of fun. There's more to see, and you'll always be surprised. I love you. Happy New Year, and I'll see you in the next video. But for now, I'm clocking out. Bye.